Visualization. Visualization is basically your brain's way of rehearsing reality before it happens. When you imagine something clearly, like acing an exam, giving a great speech, or landing a goal, your brain fires the same neurons it would if you were actually doing it. It doesn't fully know the difference between imagination and reality. It's like a mental simulator. The more vividly you see it, feel it, and believe it, the more your brain treats it as real. Over time, that imagined success builds confidence, focus, and skill in the real world. So when the moment comes, your mind and body already feel prepared. In simple terms, visualization is practice without moving a muscle. You picture it enough, and your brain starts working to make it happen. Neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity basically means your brain can change itself. It's not a fixed machine. It's more like soft clay that keeps reshaping as you live, learn, and think. Every time you repeat a thought, learn a new skill, or form a habit, your brain builds new connections between its cells. The more you do something, the stronger that connection gets, like carving a deeper path in the sand. That's why practice makes perfect, and also why bad habits get easier the more you repeat them. This ability helps people recover from strokes, trauma, or even emotional pain. It's the reason therapy, meditation, or learning new things can actually change your brain over time. Intuition. Intuition is that quiet inner voice that seems to know things before you can explain why. It's not magic. It's your brain processing patterns and memories faster than logic can catch up. Think of it like a background app running in your mind. It collects experiences, emotions, and tiny details you didn't consciously notice, then gives you a quick gut feeling. That feeling might tell you to trust someone, avoid a place, or take a certain opportunity, even when it doesn't make logical sense. Most people ignore it because it's subtle. But intuition gets stronger the more you listen to it. Meditation, journaling, and quiet reflection help you hear it clearly, because intuition speaks in calm, not chaos. Subconscious reprogramming. Subconscious reprogramming is basically teaching your deeper mind new instructions. Your subconscious runs most of your life, habits, emotions, reactions, and it doesn't think logically. It just follows whatever it's been told over time. If you've constantly heard "you're not enough" or "money is hard," your subconscious records that as truth. Then it quietly shapes your behavior to match it. But the good news is, you can reprogram it. By repeating new beliefs with emotion and consistency, like affirmations, visualization, or hypnosis, you start replacing the old mental scripts with new ones. Your subconscious doesn't argue. It learns by repetition and feeling. Over time, you'll notice you start acting, thinking, and attracting things that match those new beliefs. Not because of magic, but because your inner system has been updated. Selective perception. Selective perception is your brain's way of filtering reality. There's way too much information around you at any moment. Sights, sounds, faces, details. So your brain only lets in what it thinks matters. It decides what's important based on what you already believe and focus on. If you believe the world is full of opportunities, you'll start noticing them everywhere. But if you believe nothing ever works out, your brain will keep showing you proof of that instead. That's why after you buy a certain car, you suddenly see it everywhere. Your brain tuned its radar to that pattern. So, selective perception isn't just about seeing, it's about filtering. Your focus literally shapes what you experience. Placebo Power. Placebo power is one of the most fascinating mind tricks ever discovered. It's when your body actually heals or changes just because you believe something will work, even if it's just a sugar pill or fake treatment. The brain doesn't just imagine the healing. It releases real chemicals, like endorphins and dopamine, that help your body recover. Your belief flips the body's self-healing switch. Doctors have seen people's pain fade, depression lift, or symptoms improve, all because they expected to get better. That's the placebo effect in action, the mind convincing the body to follow its lead. Of course, it doesn't replace real medicine, but it shows how powerful belief itself can be. It's proof that thoughts can cause real physical reaction. Flow state. Flow state is that feeling when you're so focused on what you're doing that everything else disappears. Time fades, your thoughts go quiet, and you just move. It's what athletes call being in the zone, and what artists describe as the creative trance. In flow, your brain stops overthinking and starts performing at its absolute best. Your skills and challenges match perfectly, not too easy, not too hard, just enough to keep you fully engaged. When you're in this state, your brain releases a cocktail of chemicals like dopamine and endorphins, sharpening focus, creativity, and even happiness. That's why after a deep flow session, you feel calm, accomplished, and alive. You can reach flow doing almost anything. writing, coding, dancing, even cleaning, as long as you're fully present and enjoying the process. Emotional transmutation. Emotional transmutation is the art of turning strong emotions, especially negative ones, into fuel for something higher. Instead of letting anger, sadness, or fear control you, you redirect that energy into creativity, focus, or drive. It's not about pretending your emotions don't exist, it's about using them. For example, when you're heartbroken, you could drown in it, or write music, start a project, or build yourself into someone stronger. Same emotion, different direction. Ancient thinkers like alchemists believed this was a kind of inner alchemy, turning emotional lead into spiritual gold. And modern psychology agrees, emotions carry energy. What you do with it determines who you become. Dream cognition. Dream cognition is the mind's secret problem solver that works while you sleep. When you dream, your brain isn't just replaying random scenes, it's actually sorting memories, testing ideas, and connecting thoughts you didn't link while awake. That's why people sometimes wake up with answers, new ideas, or creative inspiration. Artists, inventors, and scientists throughout history, like Einstein and Paul McCartney, have credited dreams for major breakthroughs. In dreams, your logical brain quiets down, and your imagination runs wild. That freedom lets your subconscious piece together patterns in ways your waking mind can't. So when you dream about something that feels meaningful or gives you a new insight, it might not be nonsense. It might be your deeper mind thinking differently. Synchronicity awareness. Synchronicity awareness is when you start noticing meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random, like thinking of someone right before they call, or seeing a word or symbol repeatedly just when you're dealing with something related to it. Carl Jung, the psychologist who coined the term, believed synchronicities happen when your inner world and outer world line up, like reality reflecting your thoughts or emotions back to you. It's not always about signs from the universe, though it can feel that way. Sometimes it's your subconscious picking up hidden patterns your conscious mind misses. Your awareness tunes in, and suddenly you're seeing connections everywhere. The more mindful or spiritually open you are, the more these moments stand out, like the world is speaking your language. Mirror neuron empathy. Mirror neuron empathy is the reason you feel things just by watching someone else. When you see a person smile, wince, or cry, your brain fires the same neurons as if you were doing it yourself. That's why emotions are contagious, and why movies can make you cry even though you know they're not real. These special brain cells, called mirror neurons, help you understand what others feel without words. They're the foundation of empathy, compassion, and social connection. They even help babies learn by copying what they see. But mirror neurons can work both ways. If you surround yourself with negativity, your brain starts mirroring that too. That's why energy, good or bad, spreads so easily. Memory encoding through emotion. Memory encoding through emotion means your brain remembers things that feel important. When something triggers strong emotion, fear, joy, shame, excitement, your brain marks it as save this. That's why you remember where you were during a big life event, but forget what you had for lunch yesterday. Emotion acts like glue, sticking memories deeper into your brain. The amygdala, the part of your brain that handles emotions, signals the hippocampus to store those moments more vividly. So emotional experiences, good or bad, become long-term memories. This is why teachers, speakers, and storytellers use emotion to make messages unforgettable. And it's also why trauma can feel so hard to forget. The emotional charge burns it in deeply.